sports. It's in the game.
This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Home to the Devil's Cauldron volcano, welcome to Treasure Island, located in the South Pacific Ocean. Ahoy! I'm Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague. We call him the Dark Pirate. He's from New Zealand, Frank Nobilo. Ready to call all the action out here today on this hard-to-find, mysterious course. Good luck finding this in your hometown. Some are here, Frank, just for the lure of the buried treasure. But I can't wait to see what this course brings to the table. What can you tell us about Devil's Cauldron volcano?
Rich, the first thing that you notice are the different flag sticks out there. The skull and crossbones are there for all to see. And you're right about the treasure. It's there to be found, and you don't always have to take the direct route. But get off the ship, find some dry land, keep away from the water, and you'll be more than rewarded. But also be very, very wary. The bounty's not for everyone. So grab your 6-iron and don't walk the plank.
Boy, this one has a chance to be really good.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, it may be obvious you'd rather have a ball sitting up perfectly in these fairways as opposed to the deep rough off to the left or right. But how is a player able to take advantage when he has that good lie?
Well, anything better than that would be sitting on a tee. That is a perfect lie. It almost guarantees good contact.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
Did the job right there.
Rich, they're trying to ransack it. That ball's heading our way.
Is that a golf shot or a cannonball?
Duck!
Look out! This one's looking good. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Looking to make a move. This putt for birdie. -1 in the early going. Frank, now on to the third. It's a par 5, and this is a diabolical, even a dangerous hole.
They call it Captain Hook, even though the hole does bend to the right. Got to hug the coastline down the left. But there is a secret passage.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Now the second shot to the par 5. So, third shot now for Rory McILROY. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Excellent shot to within 10 feet. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Frank, he took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Well, here at the 4th, the tee shot, Frank, requires a player to be extremely accurate. They do not give you a wide space to land that golf ball.
Plus that fairway is anything other than straight. It's more serpent-like. So you've got to know exactly how far you hit your drive at it so you can decide which part of that fairway to land it on. Wonderful backdrop in the distance, though. There's Devil's Cauldron, the volcano in the distance.
That is some sight. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Now the game's #1 player, Rory McILROY, ready with his approach. Here we go. That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's a birdie for McILROY. He's just so explosive. Well, Frank, this hole really the Pirates at their very best in terms of design. I love what they did here.
Well, it's one hole you don't want to scull your tee shot. A little memento down there on the right side, that enormous skull that sits up on the hill. Very short par 4, nearly reachable for the long hitters, but Rich, I got to hand it to the architects here. Some marvelous architectural features here. The shape of the green, for example, is, well, I would say skull and crossbones, but I know you've done your pirate research. What do they normally call?
They call this the Jolly Roger.
But also the bunkers. Now, these aren't just normal bunkers. These are man-made.
Well, remember, the Pirates were out here, they're not trying to shoot par. They're out here looking for some gold. They were trying to dig up some gold, and that's what they left behind is those bunkers. Normally you see bunkers look so nice, they're well raked and manicured. Not here. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Just a couple of feet. Well done. Another birdie, and now 3 under par. Frank, hopefully top of your game and top of the world from this point at the 6th.
Huge elevation here, Rich, so obviously that tee shot is going to go that much further off the elevation, and that's really the goal. Tee it high, let it fly a little, keep it left of the needle top mountain on that left side, and really you won't have much left on this fairly short par 4.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon. Rich, there's such a big advantage. You tee it up on a peg there. It should be an easy shot, but remember, this is the most powerful club in the bag. This is the one that you have to nail out of the middle of club face.
Demonstrating there and really all day that he is one of the best drivers of the golf ball in the sport. Another good swing, and it looks like Franken. Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking might get it close. And just a great shot.
Here's the second par 5 on the front 9. It's the 7th. Frank, what's the strategy here? What a hole.
I think when you stand on this tee, you really have to accept the fact that it's going to take you 3 shots to get here, no matter how good you are. Not really worth the go, because you'd have to hit some sort of monumental second shot that got up very, very quickly. And chances are you won't get a flat lie on this fairway. It is anything other than straight and anything other than level.
We are about 170 yards from the hole. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Trying to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Getting set now over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Frank, that looks like a landing strip down there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It looks like a cross as well, but really we know, because we're on Treasure Island, it's an X, and it marks the spot of the 8th green, the par 3. You won't get gold, you won't get silver, but you might. You might just make a birdie.
Wonder what's under that green. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Perfect. And in the hole. What a shot. Now at the 9th hole, Frank, not surprisingly, it's called Mermaid.
That's right. Just keep a little left there down that fairway. And really, it could be called Shipwrecked as well, because that's the line in the distance. Not overly long, not exactly straight. Just exactly what you'd expect at Treasure Island.
The Pirates certainly left their mark on this hole. Long and accurate. That's how you win in this game. 325 yards in the fairway. Frank, getting set for this approach shot. Our featured golfer is a player, it's obvious, in full flight right now.
It is. This is where it doesn't matter what the sport is, and golf is a great example for it, though, where when you play your best, it's almost like you're just playing out of your subconscious. Everything happens, it just flows, and you don't really think about it.
And it makes the green in regulation. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Now at the 10th, par 4, and just your typical pirate ship start.
Well, if you're any good, you won't use the tee peg, Rich. You'll just tee it off the deck and hit it down that left side. Lengthy par 4, that's for sure. One of those ones that's 500 and more down there, and change, or should we say gold bullion. But there's plenty of treasure on this back 9.
Wow, Frank, look at that one run out. Just blistered that tee shot.
Well, that has to be 325 if it's an inch.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Boy, that's nice. How about a fistful of birdies? Moving on to the 11th, it's a par 5 right in the middle of Buccaneer Bay. And Frank, this is an ingenious design.
You got to keep both hands on the wheel here, Rich, because there's so many choices involved. Really 5 fairways to hit at, and then there's a landing area in the distance if you can't reach this par 5 and 2. Obviously, the further right you go, the shorter the hole gets. But look how much smaller the fairway gets.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Now 8 under on the day. 12th hole, Frank, and just explain to me, where in the world do you go here?
Well, there's choice of 5, really. At the last 2, I doubt anybody, unless they really power up, can find one of those 2 landing areas. Really the first 3. But those first 3 provide a lengthy second shot into what has to be one of the most difficult par 4s on the second 9.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. And wait for it. Yes, 105 yards away. Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen. That was terrible.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf shots.
I don't want to see that one again.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Frank, this is his 6th shot here.
Well, this is the difference between the good players and the great players. Really, just that compounding of a mistake, one after the other.
Frank, how about that?
Well, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away instead, straight in. Amazing shot, and really deserves it.
Frank, the par 5 13th here at Treasure Island. I have to say, this makes the par 5 18th famous hole at Pebble Beach look like a walk in the park.
It certainly does. All the choices here, though, Rich, at the 13th, and, well, 13 is unlucky for some. The fairway for most is always down the right, but then if you hit your tee shot, then where do you go next? You go down the left on that little sliver of land. You go further down there in the nice big patch of green grass that leaves you an easy third shot. Perhaps, maybe even try for two at this par 5 that measures close to 600 yards.
So, third shot now for Rory McIlroy. Now to 7 under par. Frank, the thing about Treasure Island is at any point a player could stop and consider just where they are. And if they're not where they need to be mentally, they could really be thrown off their game. You're right at the base of a volcano here.
Well, it's a chance for your round to heat up, too. Oh, that's fine.
Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, that had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. Good-looking shot right here. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. It's a good-looking putt right here. He might... Wow, I can't believe he found the cup on that one.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Frank, now the climb begins here at the par 3 15th.
Up we'll go, that's for sure. The rather meager 145 yards is going to play much longer than that because of the steepness of the elevation. So you better club up, club accordingly. But there's reward there. We're going to get closer and closer to the heat of Treasure Island.
On the green, sure, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. Frank, he'll have to take a full swing at this putt for birdie.
This is long, but every now and again, one of these finds the bottom of the cup and makes that magic sound.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. It just, you feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Could use this one. This is for par. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Partner, what do we have here at the par 4 16th?
They call it Devil's Elbow, and I guess that's because it looks like an elbow and it goes to the right. But there's no funny bone. Look, it's been taken away, so there's no laugh if you go left or find that ravine. Difficult par 4, really, because you have to be precise there, and that green cut quite away into the side of that, well, Rich, it's a volcano, and it's starting to heat up.
Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Chance to get it close here. Frank, these conditions set up very well for, who knows, maybe a record-breaking round.
Well, maybe some sort of land levy.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt.
That's costly right there.
Painful.
So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 12th hole seems to have rattled him a bit. Well, Frank, it is time to walk the plank here at the 17th hole.
And don't put a foot wrong if you do. There'll be no help from your parrot as you try and veer a little left on this hole that bends that way. Up and up we go, nearly to the top of the volcano.
Watch your step, matey. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. That one was running so hot. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game.
He has a 12-footer here. Frank, you hate to miss it from that distance.
More than a setback there.
Has this now for bogey. So, Frank, that's a bogey, and you see something with the body language here?
Yeah, I think we noticed that back there with that double bogey, Rich. Since then, it's almost like doubts crept in, a little bit of uncertainty. That is the beauty of this game at times, but really, if you want to be a champion, that's one thing that you have to change. Somehow, you've got to forget what's just happened. We haven't seen that yet.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity.
Second shot.
That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Frank, that was an impressive round out there today.
Couldn't agree more, Rich. We've seen some great shots out there, and I'm excited to see how the rest of this tournament plays out.